it all behind you. I said, take down everything that stands in your way. Don't stop believing it'll work out again, my friend. Stand out and be a part of everything good. Wake up, you're gonna be all that you should. Try out all the things you always wanted to be. You'll see, 'cause I know what I know, that you've got it in you, and I see that you are a winner.
You know, I kind of feel bad for you guys. I do. I mean, what have I done? What have I been putting you through? I mean, you're here to commiserate with me as far as the difficulty it is to try to exist in a world, especially if you live in the United States, infested by delusional people. That's what you're used to me making videos about atheism. You know, deity-free D. There's a reason that I call my channel that. It's all about mocking a cult. Mostly Christianity. Some people are like, well, why don't you pick on other religions? Well, because I don't know about them. I don't study other religions. I didn't get ensnared by some other religion. I didn't have some other religion twist me up inside to think that I'm a bad person, that I need to die in myself because I'm so worthless as a human being. I just need to die in myself and let this pure spiritual being live through me. I've become a vessel for him to work with. Denying my one chance of life. Yeah, no other religion did that to me. That was Christianity that did that to me. That was Christianity that fed the belief that my mother started, that I have no value as a human being, that I'm corrupt since birth. You know, that I was born broken, that I need fixing, that I need some supernatural assistance just to be a good person, to feel and care and want to help other people. Or just make other people smile. Most people don't have the wherewithal to help as much as they would like, you know, because they have their own problems, their own battles they have to deal with. We all can't be great givers to charity like Bill Gates, who is an atheist, by the way. But yeah, I don't have these other religions. Well, I look at Islam as a vile thing, a very vile thing in the world. It's Christianity's twin brother, where Christianity isn't busily trying to infest a nation. Islam is. I mean, it's like one or the other. So yeah, this is the kind of video that people are used to seeing, is it, you know, me saying what I think about this cult and trying to encourage people who are caught up in it to think. You know, it's never too late. That's the thing. It's never too late. It's harder when you're older, and it's harder when you've let yourself be conned for years and years and years. It's really, really hard, you know, to say, oh my God, have I been that stupid? Have I been that amazingly blind and ignorant and clueless and arrogant? I mean, it takes arrogance to walk around presuming that your way is right and everybody else's is wrong, and that you deserve to go to heaven because you believe in these things, and other people deserve to be tortured forever if they don't believe. It takes some serious arrogance to actually walk around with that mentality. That's the kind of videos I put up on my channel. That's the kind of videos that I want to put up on my channel. I think that if I have one thing that I want my life to stand for with what I have left to live, I want it to stand for free thinking. People should be People should be aware of what they believe in. They should understand that just because a book says something doesn't make it true. Just because an organization makes claims doesn't make those claims true. It's good to be aware. Knowledge is power. If you research the origins and not go to Christian apologist pages or Christian literature, but I mean seriously, research even those books that you're afraid to read. And then, if you still believe, great. That's another thing. Somebody wrote me and said, well, it's, again, they say this to atheists, like, they say, well, that's your choice. You choose to not believe. I can't even say how many times I get that from Christians. You choose. You've made your choice. Belief is not a choice. How can belief be a choice? You're either convinced that something is true or you're not. But you cannot believe something is true until you are first convinced that it's true. Isn't that right? I mean, name some other situation where you can just, okay, I've decided to believe something. Just want anything. Doesn't happen. So this is the kind of videos you're used to. And what have you been getting? You've been getting Dee's second book, Song of Mornius, Chapter 7, Chapter 8, Chapter 9, 10, 11, 12, and so on and so on and so on and so on. I apologize. Yeah. But at the same time, I don't really apologize. I do think that there's nothing wrong with apologizing, and people who think that saying I'm sorry is a bad thing really bother me. I think, yes, it's not good to apologize for everything. Like, you should be ashamed of yourself. But when when you hurt somebody, I think it's right to apologize. I think it's good to feel bad that you hurt somebody and apologize. But anyway, I don't feel bad about the videos I've put up about my book. I do sympathize with my subscribers who want to see atheist videos, but I am very clearly making these videos by their titles known to be about my book, not about atheism. So you who don't want to deal with fantasy adventure, which is what I try to write, just don't watch those videos. I might not put up as many atheist videos for a while because once upon a time I was so obsessed with writing my book that I would go to family functions and I would be thinking about getting home and getting in front of my computer and writing. I used to leave things early, like, picnic at my ex-husband's house, his parents' house. I would want to leave early so I can get back because, oh my gosh, I wanted to write so bad. That's how I used to be before the Depression. Now, for the first time in at least 10 years, I feel that. Last night I was out driving, my car, and all I could think about was getting back to work on my book some more. I'm reading this thing, and I've gotten to the typed part now. There's most of it. 85% of this book is just typed pages because I lost it on computer. And I'm getting to those typed pages now. And I just literally removed 5 scenes from the book that were in there. 5 scenes, because I'm looking at this thing with new eyes. When I first wrote this book, it was a while ago. Last time I looked at it, really, more than 12 years, 10, 12, I'm guessing, years ago. Galen Laval, the character Galen Laval, was a very needy character, probably because I was very needy. Now I'm reading this going, oh my God, this is so stupid. What a whiner. I don't want Galen to be a whiner. I don't want Galen to be a needy person. Yeah, he's gone through some serious abuse as a child. He has no grasp of how to deal with other people. He's never been around other people. So yeah, he's very young for his age, but he's not needy. And I had these scenes. I had like probably 2 chapters worth of scenes of Galen being needy that are cut. It means that the book might be just a little bit shorter. Then again, maybe not, because now another thing that I'm rediscovering is I have the ability to rewrite. I have the ability to add stuff, like the description of how the humans came to the earth. That was new stuff that I added, you know? So I'm excited. I'm feeling, I'm remembering that I liked to write. I'm remembering how it felt and how it used to just, it just excites me. The idea of having it's kind of like playing God. Being a writer is as close to being, or any kind of artist, is as close to being godlike as a human being can be. You're creating stuff. You know, I'm creating a world. I'm creating lives. I'm creating friendships. I'm creating characters. You know, and like, I really think that one of the best things a writer can hope to do, maybe, you know, if somebody writes 30 books, awesome. That's awesome. I will never be one of those kind of writers, but if somebody can write 30 books in their lifetime, that's really, really awesome. But to me, the ultimate achievement is to create a character that becomes beloved to the readers. You know, anybody who reads The Dragon Riders of Pern, there's a few characters like that in those books. Lessa, Jackson, Flar, or maybe one of the dragons. I was very fond of Ruth. You know, I've already mentioned a couple characters in Stephen Donaldson's books that became very dear to me. Honestly, and this is kind of harsh because I am a Tolkien fan, I honestly don't feel that way about any of the characters from The Hobbit or Lord of the Rings. The kind of feeling where you wish they actually were real, that you could actually meet them and maybe become friends with them. Never got that from Lord of the Rings. I love the books, but I never really felt that way about any of the characters. Caesar from Planet of the Apes, both the old and the new, definitely. So my feeling is if I as a writer can create a character like that makes my reader go, damn, I wish this person was real. You know, to me that's the ultimate achievement that a writer could make. And what's funny is when I wrote Song of Mornius, I was a Christian. There's some seriously dark chapters in this book. I might tone them down because there are some seriously dark stuff. There's the Dark Warder, the bad guy in the story, the evil warder Malian. He feeds off of pain and suffering of others. So there's a lot of torture scenes, you know, pretty gruesome torture scenes. You know, someone said that I write vividly. You can see, I wish I wrote more like that, actually. There's too much dialogue in my writing. But anyway, so yeah, imagine that kind of vividity, visualness, visual quality to a scene with somebody being tortured. That's the kind of stuff I'm thinking maybe I should cut. But yeah, I was a Christian when I wrote Song of Mornius. And so there's a lot of magic, and there's a lot of stuff with these warders, which are very much like gods. But the beauty of it is, even as a Christian, they weren't gods. When I wrote them, they weren't gods. They were actually my attempt to make something that humans thought of as gods. Oh, they're not really. They're actually part of the natural world. They're beings. They're just very super sophisticated, powerful. They've outgrown their need for bodies kind of beings. So yeah, even when I was a Christian, I had a clue, I think, deep down inside, that everything that is unexplainable doesn't necessarily make it a god. It's just unexplainable. It's still part of the natural world, and there's an explanation. We just haven't found it yet. We don't know everything, and we never will know everything. So really, as a writer, there's a lot of scope for the imagination. You know, things that we don't know, that haven't been explained, You can make up explanations, just like Christianity makes up their crazy fiction to explain things. As a writer, I made up an explanation completely different for beings that could be called gods, but they're not, because they're part of the natural world and they can die. So I'm kind of happy reading Mormonism, thinking, wow, even when I was a Christian, I had a clue. Maybe that was my appreciation of paleontology and science. I've never been a scientist, but I have a fascination for fossils and paleontology, and yeah, I'm just kind of feel bad for you guys who are only here to hear about atheism or hear me bash Christianity. It's really not hard to do, and I've done it a lot, and I think it's also good for me to have other interests. I do post movie reviews, and I do intend to continue to post the many reasons to reject Christianity. I'm just not doing that right now, but there's last time I checked, 172 reasons, and I've only posted 14 of them, so there's a lot more to post. But yeah, if you see something that looks like it's about my book, you don't have to just skip over that. There's tons of other videos out there from people who are a lot smarter than me or better to look at than me. So hey, but I will be continuing to post stuff because I'm very fired up about trying to do my part in making people aware about this thing that's a con. They're being conned. They're being duped. And it's never too late to figure it out. And I'm sorry, but living your life and seeing the world through clear eyes, devoid of delusion, is far more important than being too proud to admit you're wrong. So anyway, I just wanted to make a video, let people know where my head is at. If you've been watching, thank you. Bye!
I am absolutely convinced that the main source of hatred in the world is religion. And I think it should be religion treated with ridicule and hatred and contempt.